Good morning, Yankees universe. KOD Nation, stand up, and you degenerates, oh, wake up and get your coffee. This is a special episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. Normally, we like to come on the day after a Yankee game. I know the Yankees were off yesterday, but the reason why we're here today is because the MLB trade deadline is upon us very soon. So we decided, you know what? This episode is going to be specifically and solely a trade special, a trade deadline special from your guy, Project Nerd HQ at the Yankees Morning Brew. But first and foremost, if you guys aren't subscribed, hit that like button. Please subscribe to Nights of Degen as well. Follow me on Instagram, Project Nerd HQ, as well Twitter, Project Nerd HQ, and Yankees Morning Brew, Yankees Brew KOD on Twitter. Follow KOD Media on Twitter as well, so you can just follow along and just be a part of this movement we got. Keep up to date of all the shows that we have, the lineups as well. But let's get into it. Now, like I said yesterday, John Heyman this weekend, I think it was Saturday night, early Sunday morning, late Saturday night, that John Heyman reported about the Andrew Benintendi to the Yankees talks, how the Royals and the Yankees started engaging in conversations circling around Andrew Benintendi. And as well, we heard trade rumors come out for Joey Gallo. Apparently, there's two GMs that are on major league teams in Major League Baseball that are trying to get fired by trading for Joey Gallo. But in reality, it's the San Diego Padres and it's the Texas Rangers who have shown interest in trading for Joey Gallo. Now, if I'm the Rangers, right, Joey Gallo's a fan favorite. You know, he was a top jersey seller while he was with the Texas Rangers. I'll do it. Why not? The Texas Rangers seems like they have money to burn. So if they sign Marcus Semien and this guy, why not trade for Joey Gallo? What's it going to hurt? It's just going to boost attendance. It's just going to help with jersey sales at the end of the day. And like I said, Joey Gallo, he's a fan favorite out there in Texas. You know, I know us Yankee fans have been hard on him, but he's a fan favorite out in Texas, right? So hopefully everything works out and the Yankees are able to ship him out and cut bait from Joey Gallo over the next 2-3 weeks, right before the trade deadline or the day of the trade deadline. Because it's been a lot of back and forth over this Joey Gallo situation, right? And before I break anything else down, let me just address this Joey Gallo thing, right? Seen it on Twitter, seen it on the sports radio shows. You know, Yankee fans upset because Joey Gallo sucks. Then you have sports commentators, sports radio personalities going out of their way, not going out of their way, but somewhat defending, not defending, but just trying to find a silver lining. There it is. That's a better word. A silver lining with this whole Joey Gallo fiasco, right? No, I get it. Joey Gallo's defense is supposed to be elite. He's supposed to be an A+ defender out there in left field or right field, wherever you put him. He has speed somewhat, able to get on base by based on balls, drawing the walk. I get that. Totally understand that. Even though his strikeout rate is through the roof, even though his batting average is basically on par from what it was when we got him last year, I get that. 160 batting average, you know. Now, the question has been imposed, and I've seen a lot of people on Twitter say this, you know, is he really hurting the team, right? You know, those who are out there in YouTube watching right now, salute. Thank you so much for tuning in. I see the chat going off. Salute to Twitch as well. I see the chat going off. But yeah, is he really hurting the team? Now, I remember certain games during the season. Granted, the Yankees are first place. The Yankees, they do have the best record in baseball, 61 wins, etc., 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 right? Is he really hurting this team? Now, could there have been probably 5 or 10 games that his bat in the lineup affected the team? Maybe, maybe. If you guys listen to WFAN, Tiki Barber last week looked it up, found out that, because it was brought on the broadcast that Joey Gallo, and I said it here on the show, has never recorded a sacrifice out to drive in a run. I tried looking up information on this. I went on Baseball Savant. I went on Baseball Reference. And apparently, and thanks to Tiki Barber for pointing this out, Joey Gallo has 2 sac flies in the 700 plus games he has played in the major leagues. So it's not 0, it's 2. This season, I can remember there were several opportunities Joey Gallo had coming up in certain situations, runners on first and third with no outs, runners on second and third with 1 out, and just seamlessly cannot get that hit, cannot get that sacrifice fly. So we are at 61 wins. Could there have been games that Joey Gallo's bat hurt us and that 61 could have turned into 71? It's a possibility, right? It's a possibility. And at the same time, I see it. Say, like, if we did have a Miguel Andujar out there playing left field, or Estevan Florial, who is inexperienced out there in the outfield, if we had them patrolling the outfield, who's to say that the drop-off defensively from an Andujar to Gallo wouldn't lead to extra runs being scored because the defense is just sloppy in the outfield? We don't know that. Now, when Andujar has been up here on the major league level, he has been very, very passable out there in the outfield. He could make the routine put out there in the outfield. We've seen that. Now, how does that translate over the same amount of games that Joey Gallo plays? We don't know. Honestly, I just think the Yankees front office, they don't have any faith in Miguel Andujar. Do they think that his rookie year, where he set the record for doubles, he had 28 home runs, basically hit 299, I'll say 300 just because I like to round up, do they see that as just an aberration and that they don't believe that he could do that or he could repeat that? I don't know. But something has to be done because the situation is getting very, very toxic. It's getting very, very toxic. It's causing a divide between the fan base. Now, in reality, when we look at the situation, do we really believe that Joey Gallo will be allowed playing time in the postseason if he is still on this roster? No. Joey Gallo at this moment is a glorified 5th outfielder. We've seen it in this series when he played against the Boston Red Sox, when we played against the Boston Red Sox. The only game that Joey Gallo started was that Thursday game that we sat Aaron Judge. Besides that, he came in the game as a defensive replacement for Matt Carpenter in the outfield, probably getting 1 at-bat here or there, or 2 at-bats here or there. But that was on Thursday. That the last time he started. So I think the days of Joey Gallo starting on this team is done. It's done. From what we've seen in this Boston Red Sox series, now let's see what happens when we go to Cincinnati. But so far from this Red Sox series, it shows that Joey Gallo, his role on this team has been reduced. He is transitioning to a 5th outfielder. So us Yankee fans, let's take a step back and understand that this team, and I said it yesterday, this team that's currently constructed right now is not the finished product. We got the trade deadline right around the corner. We got rumors already going off. We got a rumor yesterday with Carlos Rendon that I seen this morning that I wasn't able to add to the graphics that I have. But something's going to happen. Brian Cashman is going to make the moves that he has to make to solidify this team and get us to the finished product that's going to represent this team in the postseason. If you guys remember, Back in 2009, that championship team that won, at the trade deadline, Brian Cashman was very active. We added Eric Hinsky. We added Jerry Hurston Jr., who was a solid defensive substitution replacement, could play every position in the infield minus catcher's starting position and every position in the outfield. Adding Eric Hinsky, adding Jerry Hairston Jr., adding Damaso Marte, adding a Brian Fuentes to help out the bullpen was solid moves from Brian Cashman. Hopefully, he can recreate that magic from 2009 at the trade deadline, and in 2022, pull off the same moves, if not even more. But let's look at the first rumor, because we got Andrew Benintendi. That's the big fish right now, right? Let's look at Andrew Benintendi. So when you look at Andrew Benintendi, there's several things that pop out before his numbers, before we even get to his numbers. Several things that pop out. He's a free agent after this season. He's 27 years old. He won a Gold Glove last year. So if you're talking about defense, Andrew Benintendi fits the mold, fits what we're looking for. He may not have the cannon and the arm like Joey Gallo, but you stick Andrew Benintendi in left field or center field, rotate with Aaron Judge, I think that's a solid pickup. But 2021 Gold Glove, he's a lefty bat, which this lineup desperately needs. Even though we substituted him for a lefty bat, this lineup needs lefty bat. If you look at 2009, I'm going to keep on pointing to that because that's the last time we won. 2009, the lineup was filled with lefties, righties, switch hitters. It was a matchup nightmare. But then, another thing that sticks out, Andrew Benintendi won a championship with the Boston Red Sox back in 2018. I believe it was his rookie season, helping the Boston Red Sox. So Andrew Benintendi is playoff tested, is playoff ready. My guy, Kev, salute. Kev, let me know if you're free, Kev, if you could join in. Let me know. I'll text you the link. But let's look at his batting average. Let's look at his stats before we look over to his baseball savant. Andrew Benintendi is hitting .317 on the season as of last night. He has 3 home runs, 35 RBIs, 37 walks, and he has an OPS of .790. Now, when you look at his baseball savant numbers for 2022, his average exit velo is sitting in the 53rd percentile, while his max exit velo is sitting in the 62nd percentile. His hard hits, now this is what fell off. His hard hit percentiles from the years before was 5 to 6 points better, but in the 39th percentile, damn near 40 percentile, I'll take that. No problem. No problem. Just know, brother, that, the invite's always there, same like you do for me. My guys, if you guys are watching, please follow the BX Sports Jedi Network. They do great play-by-play analysis, great play-by-play breakdown. I had the honor of joining Kev this past weekend in Boston when the Yankees versus Boston was doing the watch-alongs with Kev and Michael Caputo and Maria. Michael Caputo is an awesome character. Love that guy. But yeah, follow the BX Sports Jedi Network. Next time Kev has a Yankee watch-along, most likely you'll see me there and his big, beautiful face, right? But now back to Andrew Benintendi. When you look at his baseball savant numbers, everything is red besides the hard hit and his barrel rate. Those two things have fallen down. But his whiffs, it's in the 80 percentile. His strikeout rate is in the 90 percentile. So he's not going to strike out like a Joey Gallo. His walk rate may not be as high as Joey Gallo, but it's still in the 73rd percentile. His sprint speed, basically on par with Joey Gallo. So you're not losing much or you're not losing anything when it comes to his speed. His outs above average is in the 42 percentile. His outfielder jump is in the 36th percentile. So when you look at his numbers across the board, everything, it's not perfect, but it's what you need for a solid replacement over Joey Gallo. Andrew Benintendi, in my eyes, would be the perfect fit. Now, if you're the Kansas City Royals, you're gonna want to start high. You're going to want to ask for the Volpe, the Dominguez, just because that's how negotiations are. That's how the name of the game works. You start high and you settle in the middle. You try to get in the middle. You try to get there. Hopefully, the Yankees and the Kansas City Royals could work something out that the Yankees do not have to even touch their top 10 prospects in order to get Benintendi. Maybe their top 15 prospects in order to get Benintendi. Something could be worked out. Because if you remember, right, this Kansas City Royals earlier this season, they made a trade with the Seattle Mariners, sending over Carlos Santana, which is a big reason why the Seattle Mariners are on a run right now. Last year, the Kansas City Royals dealt Jorge Soler to the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves went on a run with Jorge Soler, won the World Series. A day or so ago, the Braves and the Royals worked out a trade. The Braves sent prospects over to Kansas City. Kansas City sent over a draft pick. So, in my recollection, in my knowledge, this is the first time in Major League Baseball that draft picks were traded for a player. You weren't able to do that before the CBA that was just passed. So now teams can add in draft picks on top of prospects. Look at that. So who's to say that the Yankees can't just, you know what? Look at our top 15, our top 20 prospects. Take 15 to 20. Pick a few of those. We'll throw in a couple draft picks and some cash considerations. You think Kansas City would jump on that? Absolutely. This is a guy that he's going to be a rental for just the rest of the season. Now, if it was a Brian Reynolds, then the price for him would be a lot steeper. For the fact that Brian Reynolds, he has team control over the next few years. My man Kev says that is an outfield I wanted since the winter time. See? And my man Kev, he be hitting it right on the top of the head. Andrew Benintendi is a solid piece and will be a solid addition to this team. Like I said, he's a left-handed bat, which plays well in Yankee Stadium. He has postseason experience from winning with the Boston Red Sox in 2018. He's only 27 years old at the same time. He is a Gold Glove winner from last year. And worst case scenario, I'm not saying this, to be fully blasphemous, but Yankee fans, just bear with me. Worst case scenario, we get Andrew Benintendi. Aaron Judge decides to leave us in the offseason for the San Francisco Giants. We could easily renegotiate with Andrew Benintendi to bring him back on a cheaper contract that we would have given to Aaron Judge. So that's a worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, you get a 27, 28-year-old outfielder who you could re-up on in the offseason if Aaron Judge decides to leave and goes to greener pastures in San Francisco just because the money is so good. I know, Jigga Man. Right when I said that, I know I felt you about to scream at me. I apologize. But like I'm saying, it's just a worst case scenario. Worst case scenario. So don't beat me up. Now on to the second player. Let's look at this right now. Now this is another outfielder, Ben Gamel, who's going to be a cheap option. Now this is only if option A, plan A, doesn't work with Andrew Benintendi. Ben Gamel, three things that popped out: 30 years old, same age as Aaron Judge, but he debuted with the Yankees. This is a guy who's from the Yankees farm system. Is another lefty bat. Now with Pittsburgh, his numbers aren't as good as Andrew Benintendi offensively, but his numbers, batting average, he has a 253 batting average. He has 4 home runs, 20 RBIs, 21 base on balls, and has a 734 on base percentage. So that right there, his 734 on base percentage is better than Joey Gallo's. Period. His batting average is better than Joey Gallo's. RBIs are better than Joey Gallo's. The home runs aren't there, but he's a lefty bat. Lefty bats play well in Yankee Stadium. If you look at his baseball savant numbers, right, he'll be a perfect outfielder to be in a rotation with Aaron Hicks. Against righties, you play Ben Gamel. Against lefties, you play Aaron Hicks. When you look at his baseball savant numbers, his walk percentage is in the 83rd percentile in baseball, which is phenomenal. Almost just like Joey Gallo. I think Joey Gallo's was 88th percentile. Now his strikeout rate, it's not like Joey Gallo, but it's still in the 28th percentile. But it's not like Joey Gallo. Joey Gallo is in the single digits when it comes to percentiles and strikeouts. His barrel percentage is almost on par, the same like Andrew Benintendi. His average exit velo is in the 46th percentile. His average exit is in the 54th percentile. He has a hard hit rate of 57%. So that right there is good. He doesn't chase pitches. His chase rate is sitting in the 88th percentile. So his walk rate and his chase rate are both high. Now, this is what I like more. His sprint speed. He's a faster outfielder than Andrew Benintendi or Joey Gallo. He has a 71% sprint speed. That's the percentile he is in Major League Baseball. He's faster than Joey Gallo. He's faster than Andrew Benintendi. Ultimately, like I said, this is a move that we do if option A is off the table. If Andrew Benintendi is either dealt to another team, or if Andrew Benintendi price tag is a bit too much for the Yankees, then we can move off of Benintendi and focus our attention towards Ben Gamel. I know a lot of Yankee fans are in love and enamored with Ian Happ. Personally, me, I like Ian Happ, but the price tag for Ian Happ is just going to be too much more. And when you look at the numbers between Ian Happ and Ben Gamel, Ian Happ has the better numbers, but only by a few. But Ian Happ is going to cost more money. Why? He's younger. He's the same age as Benintendi, 27, but he's on a team control contract over the next 3 years. He could play not only the 3 outfield positions, but he could play third base, first base, and second base. I would love to have Ian Happ on this team for the sure fact and the only thing that he is a versatile player and can play multiple positions. Same thing like Marwin Gonzalez. Love Marwin Gonzalez and love the fact that he can play multiple positions. I love it. But ultimately, I like the Benintendi trade over the Ben Gamel. Like I said, I would do the Ben Gamel move if it's the last resort. But let's see what we else have. Because I got 3 more. Hold on 1 second. And now the third one, Frankie Montas. Now, Frankie Montas has been a player that has been on the rumor reels and has been connected to the Yankees since last year. This offseason, it heated up a bit more because the Oakland A's decided to go full rebuild mode. They traded Chapman, they traded Olsen, they traded another one of their pitchers over to San Diego. So it's been something that's been a part of the recent history of the Oakland A's. They get good, they don't win, then they sell off their players and try to rebuild. And that's the position they are in right now. If you're an Oakland A fan and you're out there watching, tip my hat off to you. Tip my hat off to you, and I pray that you guys get a new owner. But Kev agrees with me with what I said between Benintendi and Gamel. Also as well, Drudge was to leave. Benintendi would be an awesome replacement. I know a lot of fans don't want to hear it, and I don't want to say it before Jigga Man comes in and beats me up. But over to Frankie Montas. Let's look at Frankie Montas right here. And the three things that pop out for Frankie Montas. 29 years old, right? He's a right-handed pitcher. He has team control for the next year and a half, so he will be a free agent after next year. He finished 6th in Cy Young voting back in 2021 last year. So far on the season, his numbers, he has a 3.26 ERA. He has a 3-9 win-loss record due to the fact that the Oakland A's just struggle across the board when it comes to bullpen and offense. So he doesn't get that much run support, and his win-loss record just shows it right there. And that's sad to see, 3-9. He's pitched 96 and 2/3 innings on the season, and he has 100 strikeouts and 24 walks on the season. Personally, me as well, I forgot to put in there, but also Frankie Montas is battling a shoulder problem. He's been injured so far this year, and he has a little bit of a track record of being injured. So that's why I would be a little bit hesitant for Frankie Montas. And I think Brian Cashman is hesitant when it comes to Frankie Montas for the fact of, one, he has that injury history. Two, the Oakland A's, they just want the mother load when it comes to prospects. They're asking for so much. And three, he has a year left after this season of control. So you're going to have to pay him after next season. And I'm not sure if Brian Cashman or the Yankees are in a position right now that they just want to pony up money just to pony up money. Right? But ultimately, when you look at his baseball savant numbers, let's look at this right here. Now, as a pitcher, his fastball spin is at a 72 percentile. All of his numbers is in the red, besides two categories: his barrel rate and his average exit velocity that hitters have off of him. His chase rate, the hitters are chasing 90% out of the time against Frankie Montas. They're striking out 71%. He's not walking as much. He's in the 74 percentile. The slugging percent is in the 64, but it's still not bad. Still not in the blues. So Frankie Montas on the numbers, on the advanced numbers as well, are great. Now, is this the number one pitching pitching target that I want? No, it's not. But I brought him up first just so we could dissect him. And I know a lot of Yankee fans, this is your favorite. You know, talking with Michael Caputo and Kev on the watch along, Kev is a big fan of Frankie Montas and want Frankie Montas. But I'm a bit hesitant when it comes to Frankie Montas just because he has that injury history, right? Free agent after next year. And the big thing that makes me super hesitant for Frankie Montas is I just do not trust the Oakland A's when it comes to acquiring a starting pitcher from the Oakland A's. I just do not trust it. I'm a bit burnt. I'm a bit scorned. If I can say I have PTSD from when the Yankees traded for Sonny Gray. 100%. If you guys remember that Sonny Gray trade, I wasn't on board for it. I didn't want Sonny Gray. Not at all. But we traded for Sonny Gray thinking that he was going to be the ace of this team. And it was just crow. We were just eating crow afterwards. It was no bueno. The Sonny Gray era in the Bronx, it was horrible. The hate, I wouldn't say hatred, but the backlash and energy that Sonny Gray was getting as a starting pitcher, it's the same backlash and hate that Joey Gallo is getting now. Chris, what is good? Chris, salute. Thank you for tuning in. Chris the Flash, thank you so much, Chris. Appreciate you. Chris, what's your thoughts on Frankie Montas? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Is Frankie Montas someone you trying to trade for, Chris? Let me know, bro. Personally, me, I give Frankie Montas a thumb down. I pass on him. I know I got Caputo is big on Frankie Montas, Chris, but personally, me, pass on Frankie Montas, right? Let me show you right now. This is who I have an vision of the starting pitcher that I want, that I think the Yankees should go after. And let me know if you guys are on board with it. But this young man right here, by the name of Luis Castillo, this is a starting pitcher that I believe the Yankees need to go for. This is target number 4, Luis Castillo. Three things that pop out for Luis Castillo. He's a former All-Star back in 2019. He's a right-handed pitcher, 29 years of age. Now, just like Frankie Montas, Luis Castillo, he did have a bit of an injury bug, right? Luis Castillo did have an injury bug last year and the year before. Boom. There you go, Chris. That's why me and you are right here, baby. Great minds think alike. He said, I would rather Castillo. And that's what we got. Luis Castillo, if you look at his numbers, right? Look at his numbers this year so far, he is pitching to a 2.92 ERA. His win-loss record is 3-4 on the season. The innings he's pitched 71. He has 74 strikeouts and only 23 walks. A big thing with Luis Castillo as well is that Luis Castillo is a heavy sinker ball, changeup, slider pitcher. Three things that the Yankees love to have in their starting rotation, or just love to have pitching wise or part of their staff in general. If Luis Castillo could come over here to the Bronx, right, get with Matt Blake, and Matt Blake just perfect that sinker even more, I think we got something here with Luis Castillo. Luis Castillo, that this is not going to be Javi Vasquez back when we got Javi Vasquez. This is not going to be Estevan Loaizica when we got Estevan Loaizica back in the days. No, no, no. Luis Castillo. If we trade for Luis Castillo, in my opinion, this would be the best pitcher that we traded for over the past 20 years. If you look at the Yankees' history when it comes to starting pitchers and trading for starting pitchers, the only one that you could probably give a notch over Luis Castillo was a Randy Johnson, and solely because of his name, Randy Johnson. Because the time Randy Johnson was in New York, it was god-awful. But if you look at the history of pitchers that we traded for, I brought up Sonny Gray. He was garbage here. If you guys remember Jeff Weaver, we traded for Jeff Weaver from the Detroit Tigers. Garbage. Oh, let's see. Carlos says, Carlos, salute. Thank you for tuning in. He says, I don't think Castillo would be a Yankee because Cash wouldn't give up what they would ask. I bet on he would end up with the Dodgers. They don't hesitate. Yeah, you're right about that. You're absolutely right about the Dodgers not hesitating to give up talent. Yeah. And that's the thing. If the Reds, and granted, the Reds, they have all rights to be want everything they can get. But I think if the Yankees pull up a package of starting with a Florial and Duhar, if we throw in a Luis Medina, if we throw in a JP Sears, and if we throw in either a Wisniewski or a Ken Waldichuk, I think that would get the deal done. But then, like Carlos says, we have to worry and have the risk of the Dodgers just outbidding us. And if a team steps in and they outbid us and Brian Cashman thinks that the price is just a bit too steep, the prospects they want is just a bit too much, I can live with it. Am I going to be 100% happy? No, absolutely not. He said, remember they asked for Glaber and Frazier back after. Yes. They wanted Glaber and Clint Frazier for Luis Castillo. But a big difference between now and then is that Luis Castillo, just like Frankie Montas, is a free agent after next year. So the team control, the years of team control is not as much as it was back in 2018 and 2017. So there's a little bit more room to negotiate, Carlos. But yeah, you hit it on the head when you said that they did ask for Clint Frazier and Gleyber Torres. And hindsight 50-50, I would have definitely threw in Clint Frazier, who is now Jackson Frazier. My apologies. He goes by Jackson Frazier now. But yeah, back in 2018, I would have stood away from Gleyber and probably threw in Clint Frazier. But yeah, they wanted Clint and Gleyber for Luis Castillo. But now, as the years have gone on, he is a year away from free agency, minus this half of the season. I think the price range won't be that heavy. And if there's a way that the Yankees can try to eat away some of the money that the Cincinnati Reds have on the books, I think there's a silver lining or there's a common ground that they could come in and agree with. But that's just me. Now, let's go on to the next one. Because I got one more, right? One more. And I think I talked about this yesterday with Bobby, my guy Pop Bobby from Pinstripe Chronicles. But yeah, yesterday I brought up every trade deadline, there's just a random player that we don't hear in the win. We don't hear any attachment to the Yankees. We don't hear any traction, right? Every free agency or every trade deadline, it's always that one player. Last year, we were heavily connected with Joey Gallo in trade talks, but at the last minute, the Yankees got Anthony Rizzo. A few years before, the Yankees were engaged in trade conversations, like Carlos said, with Luis Castillo for Luis Castillo. It didn't work out. We got J.A. Happ. So there's always this random pitcher or random position player that comes out of the blue that the Yankees require. Alexi Diaz. Hold on. Yes, hold on. If I think that's the player that I was actually looking up this morning. Yes, with the Cincinnati Reds. Yeah, that's another player from the Reds that I think that I was looking at the Yankees may be able to. Yeah, thanks, Chris, for that. 1 second. But yeah, here it is right here. Boom. Madison Bumgarner. I know. When you look at his baseball savant, it's a lot of blue going on over there. There's a lot of blue going on over there. But several things that pop up before we could start the conversation fully. Madison Bumgarner is 32 years old. He's a left-handed pitcher. His best days are definitely behind him, but he was a World Series MVP back in 2014 with the San Francisco Giants. He's a four-time All-Star. But one thing that may keep him away from us is his salary. This year, he's making 23. Next year, he will be making 23 as well. But in 2024, he'll be making 14 mil. Yeah, Alexi Diaz is somebody that I put to the side so I can have for later on during the week, Chris. But yeah, Chris, if you're free also probably within the next couple of days, if you want to jump on a panel, you're more than welcome to, brother. But yeah, let's look at Bumgarner's numbers fully, right? On the season, he's pitching to a 3.65 ERA. He's 5-8 on the year. He has 91s in a third of an innings pitched under his belt so far. He struck out 66 and only has 29 walks. Now, a big reason why I would add Bumgarner is his veteran presence. The same way Yankee fans fell in love with Josh Donaldson's antics and his cockiness and his attitude, it's the same way they will fall in love with Bumgarner's demeanor on the mound. The same way how Yankee fans and other people said that the Yankees, they needed a backbone, they needed character, and Josh Donaldson added character to their team. Bumgarner would do the same thing for the starting rotation, while at the same time being a veteran for that starting rotation to help out also a Monty and a Jameson Taillon. I know Jameson Taillon and Monty, they heavily rely on Garrett Cole for leadership, but Bumgarner, would it hurt to have Bumgarner in your ear speaking to you when it comes to certain sequences on the mound that you should try, or position on the mound or in the field? Would Bumgarner be that bad of a voice? No, I don't think so. I think the Diamondbacks and the Yankees could figure out a situation with the money, just like the Rangers, they ate majority of Joey Gallo's money when we traded for him. So I think that the Yankees could try to figure something out. Again, this is if we don't get Luis Castillo or Frankie Montas, this would be my third option. My third choice would be Madison Bumgarner. Now, when you look at his baseball savant and the advanced analytics, yeah, boom, you can see a trade for Peralta with him, 100%, 100%. Just like Carlos said, he said the salary is maybe the thing that is a problem here, since I don't think they want to go. Yeah, the Yankees don't want to go over that $270 million threshold. They already are in the first level of the tax penalties and stuff, so they don't want to go into the second tier when it comes to extra money. The third tier, I think, is when you lose draft picks or international signing money. And the Yankees, one thing they're not trying to do is lose any of that international signing money, right? Draft picks, when it comes to draft picks, the Yankees know, especially with the winning mentality they have, they're not going to be in the top 10 when it comes to picks, or the top 15 when it comes to picks. So that's why they shoot to the moon and go heavy when it comes to international signing money. Chris, you want to join now? All right, cool. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Because I'm done with Madison Bumgarner. Let's see, I have you on for a few. And then I want to take a look around the league when it comes to this trade deadline. So I'm going to just put this in the chat. Let me see if you get it. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let me just get this out the way. Yeah. So if the Yankees are able to negotiate with the Arizona Diamondbacks, granted, like I said, they don't want to go over that $270 million tax threshold, salary rise. Thank you so much, Carlos, for reminding me that as well. See, Chris, though, before you come on, Chris, I'm gonna just need you, if you're just backstage, just to show your face backstage, just so I can add you, just to make sure it's you, just to confirm. If you could just give me a thumbs up. I'm not gonna put you on the stream with your face if you don't want it, but if you could just in the back, there you go. Just give me a thumbs up. Perfect. All right, you could take the screen off if you want. My man, Chris, what's good, baby?
What's up?
Chilling, dog. Chilling. Sorry, I just had to double check and
No,
just
no, no.
verify it was you.
Trust me, I know. I understand.
But yeah, so far with what I brought up with the trade talk so far, who do you have in mind
Well,
that the Yankees should target?
when you was talking about Madison Bumgarner and the
Mhm.
salaries and stuff with David Peralta, you know he could play third base and outfield. So if the salary is not matching up, maybe you could throw in Josh Donaldson to maybe lower that in and be like, well, look, salary for salary.
I like how you're thinking there, Chris. David Peralta, Madison Bumgarner for Josh Donaldson and some low level prospects. The money
Yeah.
does add up. The money does match up. The money does match up. So if it could make sense, it makes sense. And David Peralta, if I'm not mistaken, isn't he a switch hitter? If I'm not
Yes, I think
mistaken,
so. I think so. I think
perfect.
he is a switch
That
hitter.
that'd be a perfect balance to this lineup, because when you look at 2009, what made the team so great in 2009, Chris, is, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the perfect balance of lefty, righty, and switch hitter.
Yeah.
Oh, he said lefty only. Carlos said lefty. All right, but
Okay.
even still, he's not
No,
a
lefty. That's still
right-handed. He's
good.
not. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's still a lefty. Yeah, yeah. This lineup is too right-handed bat heavy. We need more lefties in this lineup.
Yeah, and especially if we're gonna trade Gallo, I mean, he can replace Gallo.
Perfect. Yeah, Benintendi could replace Gallo. Peralta could replace Josh Donaldson. Two lefties that we bring into this lineup that are contact hitters that don't strike out as much as Joey Gallo and Josh Donaldson.
And see, people talk about Madison Bumgarner's chart or whatever, but people also got to remember that Justin Verlander, before he got traded to Houston, he wasn't Justin Verlander, and he came back to his old self when he got in that World Series race. So you never know.
Yeah,
Madison Bumgarner might click in the playoffs.
yeah. Bumgarner might get that little jolt of youth or jolt of energy coming over to the Yankees and competing for a contender.
Hmm.
And at the same time, that mentality, that bulldog mentality Madison Bumgarner has, you want that on your team. You want that coming from your pitcher who's on the mound in a tough series in September or late into the postseason. I trust Madison Bumgarner and the playoff start over almost any starter that we have in our rotation.
Yeah. And then who was it? You said you don't trust the Athletics with Frankie Montas. Be honest with you,
Yeah.
I can't blame you on that because it seemed like Oakland knows what they're doing when they trade these players, and when they go to
Mm-hmm.
different teams, they don't pan out.
Mm-hmm. And
So
when you, Chris, you hit it on the head because if you remember back in the days, I'm not sure how old you are, but when I was in high school, the Athletics traded away Mark Mulder to the St. Louis Cardinals. Mark Mulder was never the same, right? They
nah,
traded Rich Harden away. He was never the same. So there's been a bunch of pitchers that were high level pitchers with the Oakland A's. They traded them off to other teams, and then it worked out. And like I said, I got PTSD from Sonny Gray.
yeah,
I have PTSD from Sonny Gray. Chris, what do you expect?
yeah. I don't know. It's just I don't. I know Frankie's good, but
Mhm.
I rather Castile.
Yeah, I think Castillo's and then also too when it comes to that pitch in Oakland and pitch in the Coliseum. One thing you guys have to put into the back of your mind when you're breaking down or analyzing these pitches from Oakland is that look how big that foul area is. How many outs, how many extra outs do those pitchers get because that foul area is just so big in Oakland? Compare that to Yankee Stadium. Majority of those fly balls that are put outs will be in the stands with the fans.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Let's see. Carlos says the A's are more or less like the Rays. They don't lose trades. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. You hit that
I
right on the
agree with
head,
that.
Carlos. What's your thoughts on? Okay, so I brought up Andrew Benintendi and Ben Gamel, right? And I brought on Andrew Benintendi. That's the target that I want the Yankees to get. But if we can't get Benintendi, what are your thoughts on Ben Gamel? Do you think he's a solid fit, or do you have someone else in mind if we can't get Benintendi?
Oh man. Um, trying to think of the outfielders. I mean, if we can't
Because
get,
the big sexy names are Brian Reynolds, of course, because
that's
Brian
all I want.
Reynolds, yeah, that's who everyone wants, but he's going to cost money, right? You see, Moneymaker 33, salute, salute, salute. In the chat, he said, time to trade for Soto. Listen, if the Yankees could trade for Juan Soto and it's a trade that makes sense, even though it's going to cost the entire farm system, why not? Ben Gamel is with the Pirates. Yeah, Ben Gamel's with the Pirates right now, Carlos. What's your thoughts on Soto, though, Chris?
I mean, they talking about some. He wants to go to the Mets, but I guarantee you, if he gets traded to the Yankees, he's gonna stay with the Yankees.
Of course.
Like it's, I don't want to hear that. Oh, I won't play for the Mets. Well, a lot of people want to play for us, and then they're like, "Oh no, money's better at somewhere else. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go play for them."
Yeah. Personally, as much as I love the talent of Juan Soto and I love Juan Soto just as a player himself, I just don't think the Yankees are that in love with him, right?
Yeah,
Because the Yankees had a chance to sign him when he was a teenager, which they should have done, but they didn't put out all the money that the Nationals did, right? The Nationals offered more money, international signing money. Yankees, they didn't have as much. That's why they traded Chasen Shreve. That's why we got Luke Voigt for that international signing money. That's why we got Jason Dominguez in the first place, right? So if it wasn't for us losing out on Juan Soto, we wouldn't have Jason Dominguez right now. But I don't think the Yankees are 100% sold on Juan Soto. I don't think the Yankees, how the Yankees operate over the years, especially these past 20 years under the Steinbrenners, or how many years, is Juan Soto a quote unquote prototypical Yankee player in your mind?
um, I think he would be good with the Yankees if the Yankees would trade for him because maybe they wasn't for sure how he would pan out, but I think now that they see that he's the real deal. I mean, he has a World Series and he produced in the
Mhm.
playoffs, and he's a
Yeah.
lefty. So I mean, I think he would be good for the Yankees. It's just a matter of Cashman need to stop prospect hugging. If Soto's
Yeah,
available, you get Soto. He's the best outfielder out of everybody.
yeah, yeah,
But
100%, and
I don't see
100%.
Cashman doing it.
Yeah, but and then when it comes to Juan Soto, right? Juan Soto's 24, turning 25. I don't
Hmm.
mind trading Anthony Volpe because Anthony Volpe is 21, 22. He's not there's not that big of a difference age-wise between Soto and Volpe. Dominguez would probably be the biggest age-wise between gaps for prospects, but when you look at Juan Soto's age and compare him to the prospects that Brian Cashman is hugging, there's not that big of an age difference.
Yeah, that's why it don't make sense to me. Like if like Reynolds or Soto, like if they're available, like you have to go get them. Especially with this team right now. This is a
Mhm.
ready team to win the World Series. So if
Yeah.
you got to give up Volpe for one of them, give up Volpe. I mean, you just signed another
Another shortstop
shortstop.
in the minors, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I might look.
Who's
Trust me.
supposed to be better than Juan LaFranco, yeah.
There you go. And it's like if he's supposed to be better and he still hasn't developed yet, why not? I mean, you're not okay. Who's the shortstop that's in AAA that everybody keep talking about? Is it
Peraza,
Peraza?
yeah, Peraza,
All
Oswald
right.
Peraza.
So if he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, and IKF is not really, panning out, and you're not letting him play, y'all trade him. Like I don't
Trade
understand. Like why keep him if you're not gonna move him up? Trade him for Luis Castillo or Montaz. Some
or
just trade
or
him.
give him a cup at the like, just let him get a taste at the major league
That's what I'm
level. Like
saying.
we've seen how, as solid, I'm just going to use the word solid when talking about IKF. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa has been solid, hasn't been great. He's been solid and passable. Give Peraza a chance at shortstop. Let's see what happens. Because what's the worst thing that could happen? We cast lightning in the bottle. He builds up his trade value over the next week and a half, and then we use him for Luis Castillo, like you said, Chris.
Yeah, and then people keep messing over IKF, but you got to realize he didn't win the Gold Glove at shortstop. He won it at third
Yeah,
base. So
yeah,
if anything, move Josh, put him at third base. I guarantee you probably see a better IKF.
100%. And that was one thing that stuck out to me when we acquired him was that he won the Gold Glove at shortstop. And yeah, I will move. Like you said, we just have to do whatever we can because these last two games that we lost to Boston, right? Saturday game, we lost because Josh Donaldson bumbled that double play at the end of the game. Cool. Sunday's game, when Boston scored 7 runs that inning, it was because IKF booted the ball to start the inning for Castro. So our defense needs to be shored up in those spots.
And
Before we
DJ
go, I
too.
got yeah, and DJ also. DJ, yeah, DJ, and that's one thing. DJ LeMahieu is not known for booting balls like that. So to see him do it twice in a game, practically almost the same play, it's a head scratcher. Carlos says, so what about a package of Gammo and Jose Quintana? I haven't looked deep in the numbers for Quintana, but I show he has a good ERA. Listen, you never know. I was thinking of the same thing you was thinking, Quintana. I was thinking the same thing, right? And if you guys remember, Jose Quintana is the player that the Houston Astros traded away to the White Sox for Alvarez. So that left-handed MVP talent that they have, Alvarez, they got for trading Jose Quintana. And that's what worries me when trading away prospects because years later, you don't know who they turn into. And if they turn into a superstar, they're a superstar.
Yeah, I mean the only way you trade a prospect for sure, if you can guarantee a World Series,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not very likely.
Yep. Yep. I got another comment here. He said, why not bring up Owens in house? Miguel Andujar, Dominguez may be the best signing in our house. We don't need to make a trade. We have our Owens in house. Time to bring up our baby bombers. Listen, Money Maker 333. From your mouth to God's ears. One thing I've been preaching and one thing I've been wanting to see is the Yankees give more time to Andujar and more time to Estevan Florial. I know Estevan Florial, he's gotten time up here. but it hasn't been a solid stretch of time. It's being called up to be that extra man on a double header, or if a player is on a COVID IL, they come up for 5 days and then you send Florial down. But Florial is hitting over 300 down in the minors, has 10 home runs, is 26 steals. He was only caught 5 times. Andujar is hitting over 310 in the minors, has a few home runs. So why not give him a chance? What's your thoughts on that, Chris?
Well, like, yeah, you can give him a chance. I mean, I like Andahar because he don't really strike out too much. But if you're not going to give him a chance, you would try to get a Benintendi because Benintendi, you already know what he can do in the majors, and he's better than both of them. Especially as of right now. But if you're not going to trade for Benintendi or Hap or Reynolds or Soto, yes, give the people that is already in the system, give them a chance because I'm sorry, Gallo is not it. Hicks, he's starting to come back, but then I don't trust Hicks at all anyway. So why not get him to, I don't know. It's just Cashman. I don't think Cashman understands fully what he has in the system. And then the prospects that, okay, like Clint Frazier, I'm gonna give an example with Clint or Jackson Frazier. Now, you could have been traded him to get Garrett Cole. You didn't want to do it.
Yep.
That don't make no sense. Who was it too? Man, I can't think of the pitcher's name. Oh man, it's gonna kill me. He didn't want to trade for a deal, and he's not even on the team no more.
Oh, yeah, he wound up using that same pitcher in a deal for Sonny Gray.
Oh man, no, not him, not him.
No, not Caprillion.
No, he came in the majors for like 2 seconds, but then he went to bed.
Garcia. You talking about Debbie Garcia?
No, it's a white dude. I can't think of his name.
Oh, right, it's escaping me right now.
Yeah, and he didn't want to trade him, and he didn't pan out to be nothing. It's gonna kill me.
It's gonna kill me. I'm gonna be able to find it. I'm gonna write you on Twitter for it as well.
Yeah, because it's gonna kill
me. Moneymaker says my fault. He says Miguel Andujar is proven. Miguel is proven.
Chance
Adams. There you go.
Yep. Wow. He didn't want to trade him.
Yeah, that's a name. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Chance Adams. They were hyping him up to be the next best great Yankee pitcher, and he never panned out to be nothing. Yeah,
man.
Chance Adams, name from the past. Yeah, it's been a bunch. If you look back, within this past 10 years, right? There's been a lot of moves that Brian Cashman. We got to tip our hat and give credit to him for making those moves, solid moves. But there's also moves that you make that are just head scratches. That what are you doing? Like what are you really doing?
Yeah,
but you can't be 100% on every trade. Go ahead, Chris.
Like the Sonny Gray thing. You could have had Justin Verlander. Why?
Ultimately, I didn't think Justin Verlander wanted to come to the Yankees because Justin Verlander has that low key beef with A-Rod because A-Rod used to date his wife back in the day. And Justin petty. Verlander, yeah, super petty. And Justin Verlander, he's one of those major league players that are 10-5. So he's been in the major leagues for 10 years, but 5 of them was with one team. So I think he gets like an automatic no trade clause. But yeah, it's super petty for no reason.
I know his wife likes New York, so that's why I was like, he might if his wife is like, yeah, I want to,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just rather it's just the moves that he don't make that you, like you said, that you scratch your head like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like it's easy moves for you to make as well. Like you brought up Chance Adams, that should have been Chance Adams, Clint Frazier, 2 prospects we should have moved on from.
Yep.
That didn't pan out. That didn't pay Rod anything. He said A-Rod gave her that money maker. But tonight before because I'm gonna be cutting it off soon. But tonight, Chris, I just want you to help me break down for tonight's game that we got. The Yankees are playing the Cincinnati Reds, who are 32-54. The Reds and the Oakland A's are the 2 worst team in baseball, right? So tonight, the Yankees are sending Garrett Cole to the mound against Graham Ashcraft. Graham Ashcraft has a 4.35 ERA. What do you think? What's your predictions for tonight, Chris?
Um, I don't know who's gonna be in the lineup, but I feel like
Yeah, the
if he's
lineup
got
is
over a four,
yeah.
you
They
gotta
got
hit
up
him.
around 4. I'm
You
sorry, what you
you
were saying? You cut out right there.
I was saying if his ERA is over four, you gotta hit him.
Yeah. My man Keith. Salute Keith Chance. Hey, you remember Chance Adams? Yeah, they put the lineup out normally around like 4:30, 5 o'clock. But yeah, depending on who's in this lineup, the Yankees need to take advantage. We're in
I'm a
Cincinnati.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say Garrett Cole's gonna rebound. He's gonna go 7 innings, give you like 13 Ks, and the score is gonna probably be like 9-zip.
Okay. Copy. Any predictions on Aaron Judge? He's gonna hit a home run tonight, Chris?
I feel like he's gonna hit two.
All right, boom. Why not make
If
it
he's,
3? I'm saying 3.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, has he hit three before?
No, he hasn't hit 3 in a game. He's only hitting 2 in the game. So let's see him hit that
Man,
3 tonight.
either him, or I feel like who's heating up? I'm trying to think.
Stanton had a nice game in Boston, even though we lost. He had a home run. He was 2 for 4 in that game, so he's heating up. Hopefully, Josh
Yeah,
Donaldson can continue his little hot stretch and he heat up as well. But I need DJ LeMahieu and Gleyber Torres to get their batting average between 270 and 280. As
yeah.
great as Aaron Judge and as great as Anthony Rizzo has been to us, besides Judge and Rizzo, I think LeMahieu and Torres are our next 2 important bats in this lineup.
Well, I know DJ was heating up in the Boston series too.
Same
So
with Glaber, yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I could, I don't know, I could see Cole going out and pitching the gym to recover from that Red Sox series because I don't know what, it's just okay. So the three teams that kills him is Houston, right? With oh dude, Alvarez. Then you got
Mm-hmm.
Boston with Devers, and then you got Tampa with Choi. He's
Troy, yeah.
he's got to get that out of his mind. Like, oh, like especially giving up a 2-run bomb or 3-run bomb. Like, if there's nobody on the base, just walk him. If you can't get him out, just walk him.
I was just gonna say the same thing. You seen the first 3 games of the Boston series, how they were just literally walking and pitching around John Carlos Stanton. That's
That's
what
what I'm
Garrett
saying.
Cole needs to do. That's what he needs to do. If you walk the guy, walk the guy. You could go after the other hitters in that lineup. If you can't get that one, do not let that one guy who has killed you in the past kill you. And I think that's Garrett Cole's problem. It's a competitive. Is Chris? Let's
Yeah,
be honest. It's from a competitive nature, right? If it was me or you on that mound, even though we know we should walk that batter, competitive nature kicks in, and we're going to try to strike him out.
yeah. And not only that too. Why you don't just ask Nestor? Nestor strike the Devils out twice.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
yeah.
understand that. And then Blue Jays, I forgot about Blue Jays. Vlad homered that
Mm-hmm,
off him 3 times.
mm-hmm. Granted,
So
though, with Rafael Devers, right, the 2 pitches that he hit for home runs, they were 2 great pitches from Garrett Cole.
oh
Both
yeah,
of them were
yeah,
out of the strike zone. The slider that was basically inside on Rafael Devers, basically by his ankles, he was able to golf that out. Then it was a changeup that was outside of the zone,
hmm
bottom of the strike zone. He was able to golf that out. So credit to Rafael Devers because those were 2 great hits that he got off of 2 great pitches from Garrett Cole.
Look, I wanted to say this too. I seen because we diehard Yankee fans, and I know everybody's seen all the
Mhm,
Boston games against the Yankees. Oh, dude
mhm.
can't hit high pitches. Go up high on Devers. He can't
Yeah,
hit them. Like, I don't
yeah.
understand. You keep going down, and it's like his swing is like a golf swing. So when he swings,
Mhm,
he's golfing up.
mhm.
So I don't
It's like
know.
it's like he's setting his location for a certain pitch and attacking it.
hmm
Look at Nestor. You brought up Nestor Cortez, right? Nestor Cortez struck him out with pitches that were high in the zone, like you just said, because he can't handle
hmm
it. All 3 was fastballs. And you saw in the last strikeout, Nestor Cortez, he was like, you know what? I'm going all fastballs high in the zone. Here's my fastball. See if you can hit it. And all 3 pitches he swung at, and he got a strikeout.
And what's crazy is Nessa's throwing like 94, 95. Cole's throwing an easy 100.
Easy.
So I don't
know. Garrett Cole, he went away. His changeup used to be a lot slower. He's throwing that heavy changeup now. I don't know why. He used to throw a changeup that was 82, 83 miles an hour. Now he's throwing it 91, 92. So that may be something to look at, because if I can't hit your fastball, but you're throwing me a changeup at 91, 92, that's batting practice right there.
Yeah.
You just helping me out.
If I don't know. If I was the Yankees, I would call CC, and him and CC need to have a conversation.
Yeah. Definitely. But
I know that CC's man.
I hate to cut it right here, because I love the conversation and back and forth and the banter. But Chris, you're more than welcome to. Anytime you're free in the morning, you're more than welcome to join the conversation. We could just go back and forth. You know, tomorrow I think I'm gonna have Frankie on Thursday. So if you're free tomorrow on Thursday, we'd love to have you on and have a deep conversation. We break this down some more. That sounds good, Chris?
Yeah, that's fine. Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead. Say it. The floor is yours, baby.
Man, if the BX people stream again, Michael need to stop complaining.
Listen, Michael Caputo, he's a very special individual, right? I get it. You know, I'm somebody that's not for the entire negativity. You know, I'm not 100% like to be negative, but certain people, that's their niche, and that's Mikey's niche. That's what he does. You know, you gotta love him or you gotta hate him. You know, my thing is that I'm like, don't look at the comments, don't read into the don't feed the trolls. One thing you learn as being a content creator on YouTube: do not feed the trolls, because if the trolls see that you're feeding them, they're just gonna keep on, and they just
they got you. They got you.
They gonna keep on, but I'm definitely gonna be streaming back up with Kev and the BX crew when they stream back up. Hopefully Kev can get some free time and join us in for a conversation. But Chris, loved having you on, brother. About to cut it off right now. I just want to let the people know, if you haven't, hit that like, hit that subscribe number. Hit that subscribe button. Knights of Dejan KOD Media. If you guys are into virtual gambling, if you're into virtual horses, if you're into virtual fighting, KOD, Knights of Dejan, this is where you want to be. Friday, you know, we got Tonight We Ride. Tonight, we got What the Show tonight with Jigga Man Porto. If you're free, please tune into that. Chris, awesome guest. Thank you for coming on. Like I said, you're more than welcome to join anytime you want. My guys, this your guy, Project Nerd HQ. I'm out, and peace.
Damn, like the morning.